Welcome to the month of February. Welcome to Jags Crossing, and it is the IU Indy Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network. This was supposed to be about a week ago that we did this. Mother Nature kind of got in the way. It's not exactly warm outside, nor is it really spring sports season weather-wise outside, but it is spring sports season. So thankfully, we're talking softball today, and Coach Liz Beirne that joins us now was very gracious in saying, yep, I will wait a week to do our show. Knowing they have to about a 9-hour bus ride coming up tomorrow because their season starts as of Friday in an event hosted by Wofford. Coach, it's good to see you. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, and my guess would be you are excited to get someplace warm and someplace outdoors, correct?
Yes, we're very excited to finally be outside, play another team, kind of see what we need to work on moving forward, and to be challenged, and honestly, just to have some sun.
You know what you signed up for when you're coaching
Correct.
baseball or softball at a northern school. So for those that are uninitiated, what exactly has practice been like, and where have you been practicing?
So we practice at Sports Zone, so it has been all indoors. There are some seasons that we do get to go outside. If it hits 40 degrees, we'll get outside. But this winter, we have not been outside at all. So we've been indoors. Thankfully, it is still a good place. We can still scrimmage. We can have a full field. It's got a bunch of cages. So we can still get work done. Obviously, it's not quite like being outside. Fly balls. So the outfielders are probably the most challenging because of the ceiling. It stops a lot of fly balls. But we've able to get a lot of good work in.
That's funny. If there was a team or there's a group of athletes that when we have done this show throughout the course of the fall all the way into December, if there's a team that I see the most, it's your softball players that are always walking past the hall, and because the softball field is not far from us. So what is the fall like for you guys in terms of games you play, work you put in, et cetera?
Yeah, we actually put in a lot of work in the fall. So with our season and with us being in a northern school, our practices in the fall are usually longer than in this. Because again,
Yeah.
being in indoors, you're about 2 hours. But, in the fall, because we have good weather, we're outside. We're putting all of our team defense. We're doing a lot of defense. Doing a lot of outfield work because we can get that done. And we know in January, February, we won't have that work done. So we do practice a lot in the fall.
I had the pleasure of calling the last handful of your games in the Horizon League tournament last year. And A, I loved watching you play. And B, you guys were maniacal in terms of how aggressive you were on the base pass. Do you plan on continuing that this season, or was that maybe more because of specific players you had that have now graduated from your team?
Yeah, we did graduate two very good base runners
Yeah.
that we will miss them. And, hopefully we have people that can fill their spot. It's something that we'd like to do in general. I know it can sometimes drive our AD a little crazy that we're aggressive on the base path.
Don't let him coach the team for you, all right?
But no, I think we have some freshmen that have some good speed to replace them. There will be a little bit of a learning curve.
Sure.
Again, obviously, Kendall and Morgan were very aggressive, and that was something they learned over the years. So we all have some freshmen that will need to learn that as well. But yeah, we still plan on being aggressive on the base path.
Well, while you graduate the top of your lineup, you bring back almost everybody else and almost everybody else that was inside the circle. In fact, right before we began filming this today, the Jags were picked second out of 7 teams in the Horizon League. Your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what we can do this weekend and this season. I think we've also brought in a couple freshman pitchers to help strengthen that pitching staff. So with our returners and the newbies, I think hopefully we can be a little stronger in the circle and, just continue. I think we had a really good year last year offensively, and we just want to continue on that path. And like I said, we miss a couple people, but we have the majority of our lineup back, which is nice.
And frankly, the league looks a whole lot different. Unfortunately, there are 2
Yeah.
institutions that elected for financial reasons not to continue programs, one of them being in this state, Purdue, Fort Wayne, the other being the team that hosted the conference tournament last year in Cleveland State. So just how different does the Horizon League look with those 2 schools no longer being a part of it?
Yeah, I know the Horizon League is always so competitive within, anyone can kind of beat anyone any given day. So, missing those two teams, which is obviously sad for those programs and for those players. It kind of the pool's a little bit smaller, which makes getting into the Horizon League tournament a little easier. But again, that our goal is always to finish in the top. So nothing really changes in that sense. We still have, Green Bay, RMU, all the teams that are really, really competitive and really even, again, even Detroit in the bottom is still someone who I think at the end of last year was getting better and better. So it'll still be very competitive, and we had to show up every single series.
One thing that certainly helps is when you have the reigning player of the year that's coming back in Molly
Yeah.
Cable, who we'll talk to in a matter of moments. Tell us about Molly and how you got her here and what do you expect from her this year?
I expect great things. The thing that is most impressive about Molly is she's an incredible worker. So, for her, with the awards, she's not going for the awards. They always kind of embarrass her a little bit, but she is an incredibly hard worker. She's someone out on her field, always working extra, always getting extra swings in. Very tough kid. Great sense of humor, will make our team laugh. So it's kind of neat this year. Last year she was a transfer, so this year she's opened up with the team more, and so it's really fun to see her personality along with her play.
Our other player guest, and I know she tore the cover off the ball for a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of dealt with a hand injury then after that. Tell us about Kennedy Cowan.
Yeah, she's also, again, we're looking forward to her senior year. She dealt with some injuries last year, which she did fight through and still played for us and still showed up for us. But I'm excited for her this year. She's feeling better physically, so hopefully that will be able to translate a little bit more with the numbers. But again, she's a tremendous player. She's had a tremendous January swinging the bat, and we can kind of put her anywhere on the field, which really helps us. She's always plays very hard. So to have her leadership back and to have her feeling better is something we're looking forward to.
Again, this is not new. When you coach at a northern school, there's going to be a lot of travel in February into March. But to give you an idea, I'll scroll through the schedule real quick as to what it's like. 5 games in Spartanburg, South Carolina. 5 games in Troy, Alabama. 4 games in Murray, Kentucky. 5 games in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Then there's a day in Lexington. I'm sure there's a trip to Buc-ee's at some point in time after that. Then there's 5 games in Richmond. Then there's a game in Louisville. And finally, league play starts at the end of March. What's it like knowing you're spending so much time on a bus and in hotels the next 2 months?
Yeah, it's funny. So you always this weekend we're all excited to travel, and about that 4th weekend,
right.
you're ready to. That bus trip is long. It's uncomfortable, and you're ready to definitely be home. So you get excited to finally be home. With the only having 7 teams in the Horizon League, we have a couple of bye weekends in March, which will help us. I think we got those 5 weekends, but then we'll be able to rest and then get ready for conference, which will be nice to have those weekends off and kind of have that tough preseason, but then to be able to recover before conference.
All right, before we let you go, again, we touched on pitching briefly, and again, several pitchers that pitched for you last year have returned. Mm-hmm. Do you have an ace yet at this point, or is it going to be kind of by committee as it was a year ago?
It still probably be by committee. Again, we'll kind of go in with our non-conference games and kind of see what we have. Obviously, if someone emerges, we're going to use them. But we have a huge pitching staff. We have 7 pitchers. So, if we need to utilize all 7, we definitely will. I think, like I said, we want to be a little bit more competitive in that circle, and I think they put in the work to do that.
And folks, most teams have 3 or 4. So having 7, that's a big number and a great weapon to have at the start of the year. Liz, thank you so much. Good to see you. And safe travels these next few weeks.
Appreciate it so much.
Again, Liz Beirne joining us, softball coach at IU Indy, the reigning conference player of the year. Molly Cable will join us next. Again, we're live at Jack's Crossing. We're going to be here a lot in the month of February, like 3 times in the next 4 weeks with the IU Indy Coaches Show as we take you into the middle of March. Again, our show presented by our friends at Key Bank, KSM, and your Central Indiana Ford dealers. Back in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side, to the finish, down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together, so together we ride, certified, and together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side, to the finish, down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together, so together we ride, certified, and together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side, to the finish, down the ride forever.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle. Like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together. Side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever. When we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together. Side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever. When we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together. Side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. It is the IU Indy Coaches Show today. Our focus is softball, and yes, you look outside. Our cameras aren't moving, but if we pan left, there's like a half a foot of snow still on the ground. We're not playing softball outdoors anytime soon, but that's why the IU Indy team gets on a bus like the next 5-6 weekends in a row. They're heading to warmer climes in upstate South Carolina. They'll be on a bus at this time tomorrow. And when they do, the person to my right, they'll be taking with them the reigning Horizon League Player of the Year. That is Molly Cable, the Wisconsin native that is back for her second and final season of playing softball at IU Indy. Molly, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Liz told me you're not a fan of talking about yourself, but I'll ask you some of those questions regardless.
Okay.
When you hear Player of the Year before your name, how does that make you feel and your thoughts about that?
It feels good. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure.
But I just think of all the hard work, and I just gotta think that that's what it got me. From being at a JUCO my first 2 years, I've just put my head down and worked. So I'm glad that I got a little something out of it.
I think you got something out of it. And I know you're looking for even more in this your senior season. So tell me, why was IU Indy the right place for you after 2 years of playing junior college softball?
Yeah, so we actually played here our first 2 falls from my JUCO. So, and I really liked the campus. I always wanted to be in a big city, and I still like the Midwest too. So, I really enjoyed playing here. The coaches seemed really nice, and I was right. So, yeah, it all just worked out.
What's the major for you here?
Psychology.
And what are you hoping to do with that once your softball days are done?
For sure, I want to go to grad school eventually. But I've been Air Force maybe, or just work in a correctional facility because I have a minor in criminal justice, so something around that.
I would say, how do you think your athletic skills would translate to the Air Force? I think I got a good idea, but I want to hear this from you.
Yeah, I just think learning how to time manage everything, and I just know how to work hard. If you're going to give me something, I'm going to find a way to get it done. So,
when you look back at last year, your thoughts about what not just you, but you guys as a team had a good deep run on the Horizon League tournament, didn't go as far as you would have liked to. Just when you look back at last year, what were you kind of most proud of as a team?
One thing that I cherish thinking about that is the last game. We just gave it our all every inning, every pitch. We had fun. It was one of the games that I look back and we're dancing on the field during a big timeout when they're looking at a play gone wrong, but we just had fun with it. We were present. We gave it everything for our seniors last year.
As the announcer in that game, I remember that very
Yes.
well. Absolutely. All right, so I can rattle off some stats. This gives you an idea of how good of a season Molly had last year. Second best slugging percentage in the history of the program, 704. New record in terms of on-base percentage at 483. 9 home runs, 48 runs batted in, 14 doubles. You get the idea. She had a great year. But my guess is, given the fact you've pushed yourself to this point, there were things that you said, all right, I can still do this better. So what have you been working on in the offseason to make what was a great year last year even better this time around?
I've been working on more being a selfless hitter, hitting behind runners. It's all about getting the people on base home. And if there's no one on base, starting something, even if it's just a walk, just getting a rally going and staying true to myself, not being someone that I'm not. With all this going around, just be myself. Don't overdo it.
Again, you're going to miss a couple of key pieces at the top of your lineup that were, again, great about being threats on the base pass. But frankly, you returned most of your team from last year. What is that like, having so many familiar faces kind of back in the fight with you?
It's very exciting. A lot of us know what it takes to get to the tournament, and now I hope what it takes to even win the tournament, what we need to do differently, what we need to keep doing. it's nice because, I mean, pitching is a big thing that if you lose good pitchers, it's hard to kind of get back. But we only lost one pitcher, and we brought in a lot of pitchers. So it's really, I'm very hopeful for this season.
Being a Wisconsin native, you know what the weather's like around here. You know if you're going to be playing in February and March, you're traveling somewhere warmer, someplace far away from home. What is it like to be on the road so much now these next 5 or 6 weeks?
It's tough. Playing 5 games every weekend can be mentally and physically draining, but one thing that I relied on last year is just be with the team, be present, enjoy the moment, enjoy being tired because it's not going to last forever.
You mentioned time management, and every student athlete learns that. But how much in the spring semester are you working with professors to say, okay, I'll be in this class, I'm going to miss this class, I got to work ahead here. What is that balance like for you?
Yeah, I've been truly blessed to have great professors. I just talked to a professor yesterday, like, hey, I'm not going to be there tomorrow because we're traveling. Is there anything you want me to do? And they go above and beyond to make sure, most importantly, you learn, but just to keep going with the class, keep getting good grades, and the grade that you earn. So
you mentioned the fact that you wanted to be in the big city. How has Indianapolis treated you this last year and a half?
It's been treating me good. I mean, safe to say I still want to be in a big city, so it didn't ruin it for me. But yeah, I've really, truly enjoyed it here. There's really no city like this by me where I live except Chicago. Yeah. So, I've really enjoyed it.
What are some of the goals, whether it's individual or as a team, that you're setting for this year?
Of course, is to make it to the tournament and win. But also, I just want to have a good last ride with my teammates. Having fun with them, enjoy every moment. Yeah, I'm just fun.
Is there any softball you think past this year for you, or are you thinking, all right, this is it? It's time to close the book on this chapter.
I'm thinking this is it. But I think this is it.
All right, we'll let you get to it.
Thank
Molly,
you.
Thanks so much, Tom. Congratulations on a wonderful year last year, and best of luck starting a new one coming up in a couple of days.
Thank you.
Molly Cable, again, senior from New London, Wisconsin, kind enough to join us, the reigning Horizon League Player of the Year. Kennedy Cowan will be joining us next as we wrap up this edition of the IU Indy Coaches Show as we preview the upcoming, like literally upcoming as of Friday, softball season. Back with more in a moment on ISC.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
This is Paul. He loves running, music, and DIY home projects. In fact, he's remodeling his kitchen thanks to a home equity line of credit from Indiana Members Credit Union. They connected him with a loan officer, got him approved at a great low rate, and made it easy for him to make his monthly payment from anywhere thanks to IMCU's digital banking. Looks like Paul can do it all with a little help from IMCU.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Welcome back for a final time for this edition of the IU Indy Coaches Show as we preview the softball season here on the ISC Sports Network. And sometimes from year to year we get returning guests on the program, and this is one of them. Now a senior from the state of Ohio, Kennedy Cowan, kind enough to join us. It is good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. And again, we touched on this with Molly, that a lot of your teammates are back from last year. And seemingly it is rare that a student athlete spends all 40 years playing at one place. That is the case with you. So why has this place felt like such a home from day one for you?
Yeah, I think the coaches play a big role in that. Coach Byrne has been very welcoming to me, and she's been helping me through. I've had a bit of a rough time. I've been through some injuries, and she's been sticking with me through that all and keeping her confidence in me, and I think that's important. And just like Molly touched on, the city, I love the city. I love the school as a whole, like the classes and my professors as well. I've been really enjoying my time here.
By the way, rough time translates to 341 as a freshman, 371 as a sophomore. Yeah, injuries caught up last year, 250. So let's start with that. Health-wise, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I got surgery over the summer, and I'm completely back cleared. I'm ready to go.
All right, good. Just thoughts, and kind of like, I touched on with Molly, all of a sudden you played, I'm sure, softball from a very young age all the way through high school, travel ball, et cetera. It goes by pretty quickly. Is it starting to sink in? Hey, this is the last 2 or 3 months I'm going to be doing this.
It is starting to sink in. I'm scared I'm not going to know what to do with all my free time.
Right. All right, major for you at IU Indy. What is it?
Yeah, I'm majoring in law and liberal arts, so I'm getting my paralegal certificate.
Yeah. Any grad school after this, or are you basically entering the workforce as soon as you're done with classes this semester?
I am hoping to go to law school. I actually applied to IU McKinney here, so we'll see. Hopefully I get in, but that is my goal, is law school.
Very cool. All right, so those time management skills you learn as a student athlete translate to the working world very well. As you talked about, I'm not sure when we do all this free time.
Yeah.
What will it be like next year, hopefully here, just to go to school on a full-time basis?
I think it was super fun. I'll be able to explore just a little bit more, like
Yeah.
the campuses, and get more involved in like student-led things. So I think that will be fun, and like just being able to put all my effort into law school, because obviously that's going to be really hard.
You guys have been back on campus about 3.5 weeks in terms of the Christmas break. It's been all indoor practices. What have those been like for you and your team?
Yeah, it's just about building on the foundation that we already set in the fall and making sure we're being more cohesive as a team all together. So just tweaking those little things that we discovered that we needed to work on in the fall and getting ready for the season.
Obviously, I thought you guys took a pretty big step forward last year in terms of making the conference tournament, making it to day 2 of the conference tournament. How do you build on that in your senior year?
Yeah, I think, well, for me personally, just being the player that my team needs so that we can be successful, especially after coming back off of that injury. And then I think as a team, we just need to trust what we've built and just keep working every day to get better.
You heard we talked about you guys were picked second in the league behind the defending champs in Robert Morris. Kind of your thoughts on conference play, folks, is 2 months away. There's still a lot of time between now and league play. Just your thoughts on that recognition earlier today.
Yeah, I was just talking about it with Molly. I'm really excited. I'm glad that we were able to get that kind of recognition. So I'm excited to see how the league plays out.
You and I were talking about this during the break. You said you love travel. You get a lot of it over the course of the next 6 weeks. So what's bus life like for you? What's the average road trip like for you?
Yeah, it's a lot of just sitting on the bus, but we do make it fun. We bring games that we'll play on the bus with the team. And then obviously I'm always doing homework too as well,
Right.
or watching a movie. Sometimes we sleep on the bus. It is fun. And then we do little stops sometimes at a gas station. We go to Buc-ee's a lot, which I really love.
Again, I will bring it out. I'll make sure you note this. You're playing right next to a Buc-ee's,
Yeah.
like in March. You got plenty of time. My guess is as much time as you guys spend traveling, you know where all the Buc-ee locations are.
Yeah.
At this point in time. What are some of the goals you have set for you and your teammates this year?
I think one of the most important goals is being a consistent team and getting started ahead, winning the
Early parts of the season?
the early parts of the season, so that we can just keep building throughout the season as we go.
All right. I heard Coach talk about this. You have 7 pitchers on the roster. And I remember in the conference tournament, I think I saw 3 or 4 that pitched in just the games that I was able to call. What is it like as a player kind of having to adjust to a different pitcher in the circle on a regular basis?
Yeah, it can be a little challenging depending on who the pitcher is, especially when you switch from, like, let's say you have a screwball pitcher and then you switch to maybe a drop ball pitcher. It is a little bit of a challenging, or a rise ball pitcher. So it's just about like staying in yourself, within myself, knowing that what I can hit and hunting that pitch when it comes, so that I'm not chasing things that I can't necessarily do well on.
A lot of time in Kentucky, time in Alabama, obviously going to South Carolina. Is there a favorite place you have played your first 3 years playing in the IU Indy program to this point?
I would have to say UCLA, obviously. Yeah, that was a really fun trip. It was cool to go out there. So yeah, UCLA was definitely my favorite.
Getting a win out there doesn't hurt either.
No, it does not.
Well, hey, best of luck in South Carolina. Safe travels, and
Yes.
good to see you. Have a great season.
Thank you.
Kennedy Cowan, again, joining us, one of the two seniors that joined us, Molly Cable being the other, Liz Beirne, the head coach, joining us as well. Follow all things IU Indy Athletics, but you can log on to iuindyjags.com. Schedule, as you expect, is a bit backloaded for the Jaguars in terms of softball. I think the home opener is March 31st, and the 3 league series that get played on campus happen April and beyond. League tournament May 6th through 9th, and you can see all of those games on ESPN+. For our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. We are back here next Wednesday, so we'll do it again on February the 11th. Thanks for joining us for the IU Indy Coaches Show. Thanks, KSM, KeyBank, and your Central Indiana Ford dealers on the ISC Sports Network.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
This is Molly. She loves road trips, hikes, her dog Max, and cars that fit her lifestyle, like this cool new ride that she got with help from Indiana Members Credit Union at a great low rate. And for when she's on the go, IMCU makes it easy for her to pay from anywhere thanks to their digital banking. Looks like Molly is really getting the max from her credit union.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.